Let's study effectively with Miss ICT Skill Builder. In this video, we will learn how a firewall and antivirus protect data and systems.
You know, in our digital lives, we've basically built up this huge treasure trove of personal data. I'm talking everything from your favorite photos to really private information. And just like any treasure, it absolutely needs protecting. So who's on guard duty? Today, we're going to break down the two main defenders of your digital world, the firewall and the antivirus. I want you to just picture this for a second. Think of your computer, your phone, all your devices as a digital fortress. And inside, well, that's where you keep the keys to your kingdom. Your photos, your private messages, your banking details, everything you want to keep safe is tucked away inside those walls. And that leads us to the big question, right? Every fortress needs guards. But in the digital world, who's actually on watch? Who's standing at the gate, checking IDs, and who's walking the beat inside? This is exactly where our two main characters come into play. All right, let's start with your absolute first line of defense. Meet the gatekeeper. This is your firewall, and its whole job, its entire purpose is to stand right at the main entrance to your fortress and control every single thing that tries to get in or out. Okay, but what is a firewall, really? Well, it can be a physical piece of hardware, kind of like a specialized router, or it can just be a software program running on your computer. But either way, its prime directive is the same: to watch all the network traffic flowing in and out and to make decisions based on a very strict set of security rules. Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is like this. A firewall is your computer's personal bodyguard. It literally stands between you and all the potential chaos of the internet, deciding who gets in and who gets told to beat it. So, how does this bodyguard actually do its job? Well, it's got a pretty simple three-step process. First, it monitors all the traffic coming and going. Then, it inspects these little things called packets, which are just small chunks of your internet data. And finally, based on its rulebook, it filters out anything that looks like a threat, letting only the good stuff pass through. And to get all this done, it's got a few special tools in its toolkit. It can filter out data packets that just look shady. It can completely block traffic from known bad neighborhoods on the internet. Or it can even shut down specific digital doors, we call them ports, to stop hackers from trying to sneak in the back way. Okay, so our gatekeeper is on the job. Awesome. But what if something clever slips past? Or what if a threat doesn't come from the outside at all? That's exactly why you need a second guard, the patrol. And that's your antivirus software. See, unlike the firewall, which is totally focused on the network perimeter, an antivirus program is all about patrolling the grounds inside your fortress. It's built from the ground up to hunt for nasty software, viruses, spyware, the whole shebang that has already managed to get onto your device. Now, the patrol's mission is also a three-step deal, but it's a whole different ballgame because it happens after a potential threat is already inside. First, it has to detect a suspicious file lurking on your system. Next, it identifies exactly what kind of threat it is. And finally, it takes action to get rid of it and secure your fortress from the inside out. And one of its coolest tricks is something called quarantine. Instead of just deleting a suspicious file right away, which, hey, could be a false alarm, the antivirus can just lock it up. It's basically a prison for data, where a potential threat is completely neutralized so it can't do any more harm. So once a file's in quarantine, it's in solitary confinement. It's totally isolated and under constant surveillance. The antivirus keeps a really close watch, making sure it stays locked down and can't cause any trouble, while you figure out what to do with it. So we've met our two guards, the gatekeeper and the patrol. They're both in the security business, for sure, but they have very different, highly specialized jobs. Let's actually put them side by side and see how they stack up. When you look at them together like this, it all just clicks. The firewall is laser-focused on network traffic. all the data flowing in and out. The antivirus, on the other hand, it's scanning the files and software already sitting on your system. A firewall can be hardware, but antivirus is always software. And really, it boils down to this. The firewall is all about prevention, while the antivirus is about detection and removal. So if you remember just one thing from this, let it be this. The firewall watches the road leading to your fortress. That's the network traffic. The antivirus inspects everything and everyone already inside the walls. Those are your files. They're doing two totally different but equally crucial jobs. And this is where it all comes together. It's never a question of firewall or antivirus. The only way to be really, truly secure is to have both of them working as a team. They're not repeating each other's work, they're essential partners. I mean, think about it. What good are super strong gates if a really clever spy manages to sneak past them? Without any internal guards patrolling the grounds, that spy, that piece of malware, can just run wild inside your fortress with nobody there to stop it. That's what having only a firewall is like. Now, let's flip it. What if you have tons of guards inside, but you just leave the main gates wide open? Your patrol would be completely, totally overwhelmed by an endless flood of invaders. That's what an antivirus feels like when it doesn't have a firewall blocking most of the junk before it even gets close. Look, at the end of the day, your digital fortress is under siege 24/7. So the real question isn't about which guard is better. It's about whether you have all your defenses up and ready. Are your gates being watched and are your walls being patrolled? Because in this digital world, you absolutely need both to stay safe.
Thanks for watching. If this helped you clear up the concept, hit that like button and share it with a friend who might be struggling with it too. Let's build those skills together.